FOG Andrew here, and the coach here for Family and Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to an exciting, awesome episode. So, how long has it been since we did our Mule and Bull? That was like August, right?
It was like 42 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But we did a Mule and Bull episode on Star Wars Shatterpoint, where we unboxed it, kind of talked about it. We had a cigar, had a mule. It was a good time. If you want to go check out that video after this one, we'll have it linked somewhere. It was kind of our first impressions of kind of opening up the box, but we finally have gotten around to actually playing our first game of Shatterpoint officially.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, a little background.
Yeah.
So it took a while to paint the stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
that was it. That was our biggest thing.
Yes.
I took Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, and the Clan Kreese Mandalorians,
Mm-hmm.
and you took
I took Anakin,
Rex.
and then the 501st.
Rex.
Troopers.
So what we did was, instead of playing the full game, we're still grinding with the mechanics. It's the first time we played it,
Yeah.
and we've watched some stuff, read some stuff, and everything. So we're like, let's attack it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do a video battle report because it would have been dismal.
Yeah.
And we also don't like to do battle reports when we don't really know the rules too well.
Right. We want to make sure we kind of get the rules down pat
Well,
before
we don't want to screw up more than usual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we did it was a, I would say quick game, but it did take us a while just because we were kind of muddling through the rules and kind of, figuring it out and looking at the book and, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a smaller game because the standard is like 8 or something.
Yeah,
or
you do two sets of factions.
Right,
So
two squad-ish
two squads,
kind of guys. Obviously this is our first impressions.
Yeah.
Obviously being our first
after playing the game.
right after playing the game.
Right.
It's like,
You go first.
so I like it. I do like it. But I do have some
Concerns?
issues.
Okay.
So, I thought that the tree
Mhm.
thing would be very annoying and confusing. But I will say I actually really liked it. I actually really did like it because it's not just you rolling dice, you defending, me getting 5 hits, you getting 3 blocks and taking 2 damage. This is like, okay, so, I'm going to if I get at least 1 hit, I'm going to do 2 damage. But I'll also, if I get 2 hits, I'll do a 3rd damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I get to disarm you. If I get 3 hits, then I get another 3 damage. But then you have like the trees going in different directions. And then, if you want, you can flip over to a different fighting style.
That's if it's your your leader.
Right.
Because they're more powerful.
Right.
I also thought, I guess we'll go back and forth of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the tree was going to be confusing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, okay, I look at the tree and I'm like, this is what I got to do. I really got to try to push him.
Right.
So I have, I got to get at least 2 wounds so I could push him off the objective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're thinking, it's like, do I go for maximum damage? But if I go the other way, I might wound him and then he's, messed up. So it's a lot of strategy involved in it. So I thought that was very, very
Yes.
cool. I thought the tree was going to be, I didn't think the tree was going to be good. I'll be honest with you.
I did enjoy that kind of mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
You have your rules and stuff like that on a sheet. So that's like kind of like a slight nitpick that I have, where you have 2 different cards
Mm-hmm.
per character or unit. But if they put it on the back, that would be a lot of, you know what I mean? So
But
I
also,
kind
too,
of about it that way, I kind of appreciate that
But
they
also-
did 2 different cards.
Also, too, if you put the single card tree on the same card as with the special rules, then you couldn't flip the card. You couldn't flip your thing. So
Right.
I think this is
Right.
good the way it was. Also, too, you're not covering up the tree and all the dice and everything is there.
Right.
And then when you put your wound counters on, you put them on, or the whatever, dexterity, whatever, you put those onto the side of the card. There's enough room to put it there where it doesn't cover up any of the rules or any of the tree or anything. So I think that was a really smart idea as far as that in a game that uses cards.
Right. I think I am gonna have to compare it a little bit to MCP,
Okay.
Marvel Crisis Protocol, just because
That's a fair comparison.
Essentially it's Star Wars Crisis Protocol, but it's also very, very different.
It is, but it's not.
It's Star Wars Crisis Protocol in the sense that it's a skirmish game on a 3x3 board, and you have to get objectives. That's really where the comparisons end.
Mm-hmm. But then again, that's every skirmish war game, so it's not a
right,
big deal.
Exactly. That's kind of where they end.
There's some similarities in the mechanics, but I would say it's its own game.
I do like the objective system in this better than MCP.
Okay.
With the 9, you have the 9. You have the 9 spots for objectives, and only certain ones will be active that you can contest or get.
Yes.
I like that better than MCP.
Okay.
I feel like this just gives a little bit. The MCP one gives a little bit more variety because some like objectives will give you like debuffs or buffs or whatever, but this is like more. It's a lot more simple, and I think you need that because you also have, the struggle track, and the struggle track is just a whole nother beast. I don't even know if I like it. I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it.
I was confused with it, but then once we started rolling, and we figured it out, it made sense. There was a point where in the second struggle where you were like, oh, because I killed Rex, I killed the 501st, and then you only had Anakin left, and then the priority moved around, and it was on that one you scored enough points, and you ended up pulling out the second struggle.
Right.
So I know I've done some research on watching battle reports, and I've seen guys like they stayed on the the struggle was on the opponent's side, and he just went all the way to momentum, and then finally just got 1 or 2 and then got it. So it's a push and pull. You got to really be smart with it.
Yeah.
You got to try to wound the guy. You got to try to you want to get as much momentum as possible.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't, looking into it, I was like, this is going to be a pain. We're never going to be able to figure it out. It's not going to be fun. And honestly, knowing what your momentum is and how to move the stuff really helped.
Yeah.
It really helped, and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't know if I like it or not. I'm just a little.
Well, if you like the game, you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to learn to love it.
Right. I think. Well, I think, definitely, play again to really get the hang of it and figure it out and kind of think more, strategy
Right.
with
Also,
getting objectives and getting the momentums, and then wounding someone to get momentum or to do this or that, and to get more momentum.
I also think though the next game obviously will do all 8, and they'll be more spread out, and it'll be easier to maybe get to the objectives. The problem we were having was there was less guys to go across the field. Maybe you send a squad this way, a squad this way, and then figure out the middle. So I think you need the 8 characters in here to play.
Right.
It just makes sense. I could see where we were all on one side of the board, and then the second came and it spread them all out. We're like, oh man, I got to go all the way over there.
Yeah, I agree, and I kind of disagree. So we haven't played with 8 characters yet, so I don't know, and I can't say for sure. But I feel like having 8 guys is a little too much. But again,
I don't.
We haven't played it yet.
No,
you know what I mean?
I don't think so.
I just because
And also too, it's going to be a little tougher because we kind of refreshed the decks the first game 3 times and the second game twice, and we got all the force back, so we were able to do some stuff. Now, when we have the 8, and it's going to take that much longer to refresh the deck, and it's going to have a certain amount of force that's going to be, you know, you're gonna have 9 cards with the Shatterpoint card.
Right.
It's gonna be a little more
Right.
tactical that way. So
Yeah.
I think this was good to learn the mechanics.
Right. But again, like I don't hate the game. I think it's pretty good. Again, the trees are an interesting kind of thing.
I gotta tell you,
That's
I like
different
the game.
from MCP.
Right.
You know,
I like the game. I don't like cards. You know me, I hate cards
and tokens.
and tokens. Well, I don't like wound tokens. I really don't. I just, for whatever reason. But the stamina and the wounds, I like that aspect of it. It's basically just like MCP, just flip the card, but instead here it's different.
Yeah.
I do like, I just like the whole game style. I like the jumping. I like that you can use a few things without using your two active actions in it. If you have force, or some of the things are just inherent. Like there was something where I moved and then the Mandalorians moved. I thought that was really good. You know, there's a synergistic thing. So if you're taking a squad of basically guys that came in the box together, you're going to get some extra benefit from that,
right?
With that,
right.
Or if you kind of mishmash everybody, then you might not get that benefit. So it's kind of like an affiliation that works. I thought that was really good.
Right. And they kind of sneak in like the affiliation kind of thing in there. Like, for Rex, it's like, okay, if he's got the Galactic Republic, keyword, then they can do a dash or can do this or that.
The expertise.
Yeah.
I think that is something that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That really makes a difference. More wounds or more blocks or stuff happening, or just like being able to get out of dodge.
Yeah.
There was one point where I think it was Ahsoka, and she had 3 expertise, and she basically like just got out of dodge. Like she was able to make a jump move.
Yeah.
It was just, or a dash move. Man, that expertise thing is great. It really is. Or
it's
like
different.
If you get an expertise and changing expertise to crits, or changing crit hits to crits and stuff, it was good. I really like that aspect. That to me in the dice was really good.
Right. Yeah, I think so far it's an interesting game with interesting mechanics that's different from MCP. Like
it's basically it's very different than other games too.
Yeah,
I like the change of the challenge every time. The struggle changes, where it was like, okay, these objectives are here. Oh wait, now these objectives are here, and then you roll to say, well, this one's worth 2. Oh, I just happen to be it. Oh, you know what? I got to abandon this fight and get to there so I can get the 2 points.
Right.
I like that a lot. It's like, it's not where you hunker down in like a bunker and you're gonna kind of camp on this objective and like do that. It's like, all right, I was on this objective camping. Now the struggle changes, and now the objective all the way across is there, and I have to get to there. I think that's pretty awesome.
Right.
That was really cool.
Yeah. No, it's definitely an interesting, it's new mechanics. I could see why people were excited for this, because it's definitely something at least we haven't really seen before, with the trees and the tracker, and like
it's
the
Star
different
Wars.
kinds of mission.
There's a Star Wars skirmish game.
Yeah.
And it's not Legion, and it's not MCP.
Yeah.
It's its own thing, and I
Right.
think that was the important thing, because if it was just going to be MCP Star Wars, then what's the point? I might as well just pay MCP.
Right.
I like that it's its own thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Shatterpoint, we'll be definitely doing some more videos on this game coming out in the future. And if you guys are playing Shatterpoint, let us know what you think down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys, what you guys think. And we have also our Discord server in the description. You can talk about it there as well. But stay tuned for more Shatterpoint videos coming out in the future. And there's also some videos on the screen right here that you can check out. Those are some videos we've done in the past. And you can also subscribe for more future videos if you're new here. And that'll be it, guys. So we'll see you in the next one.